The first time Emily noticed it, she almost convinced herself it was nothing, a faint trembling in his hand when he reached for his coffee mug. Barely a flicker, the kind of thing most people wouldn't even see. But Emily saw it. She saw everything, silently, from the corners of rooms where no one paid her much attention. She was the quiet maid in a world of glittering suits and polished floors, moving between executive offices and private lounges like a shadow no one ever acknowledged. But shadows can see what light sometimes blinds people to. And what Emily saw that day, though she didn't yet understand it, would be the first small thread in a chain of moments that would lead to saving a man's life. In the grand glass-walled headquarters of Brookstone Enterprises, people were too busy to notice little things. Phones buzzed, keyboards clicked, deals closed in conference rooms. The CEO, Daniel Ashford, was a man of legendary presence. Tall, confident, with a voice that could command an entire boardroom. He was the kind of person who seemed untouchable. But Emily, while carefully folding fresh towels in the executive lounge, noticed that his usual brisk walk seemed slower that morning. There was a stiffness in his stride, a faint wince as he shifted his weight. Most would dismiss it as fatigue, but Emily's quiet eyes lingered, storing the detail in her mind like a secret she wasn't sure she was supposed to keep. Before we dive deeper into this powerful true-to-life story of courage, compassion, and paying attention when others don't, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of noticing the small things, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone you care about, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Corner. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories like this to life. Emily wasn't the kind of person to speak up easily. Life had taught her to keep her head down. Growing up in a small town, she had been the quiet one in class, the girl who listened more than she spoke. Her family struggled after her father passed away unexpectedly, and Emily left school early to help her mother keep their home. Working as a maid in the city wasn't glamorous, but it was steady work, and she was good at it. Meticulous, dependable, invisible. That invisibility had become a kind of shield for her. But on certain days like that one, it felt like a curse. Over the next week, Emily noticed more things. A glass of water left barely touched during meetings. The way Daniel's fingers sometimes pressed against his temple like he was chasing away a headache. The faint, almost imperceptible way his breath caught when he climbed stairs. Small signs scattered across days that together painted a picture no one else seemed to be looking at. She tried to ignore them. It wasn't her place. She told herself she was imagining things, but deep down a quiet alarm bell kept ringing in her chest. One evening, long after most of the staff had gone home, Emily was tidying up the lounge when she heard a muffled sound from Daniel's office. It wasn't the sound of typing or talking. It was coughing. Harsh, ragged, relentless. She froze in the doorway, torn between walking away and knocking. Her heart pounded. Finally, she took one hesitant step closer and saw him bent over his desk, one hand gripping the edge so tightly his knuckles turned white. His face was pale, almost gray. For a moment his eyes met hers, and in them she saw something that terrified her more than anything: fear. Daniel straightened, waved her off like it was nothing, and said he just needed some rest. But Emily couldn't unsee it. That night, she went home but barely slept. She searched symptoms online, her stomach twisting tighter with every page she read. She didn't have medical training, but she knew this wasn't something that could wait. Yet how could she, a maid with no authority, walk into the world of board members and doctors and demand they listen? She imagined the ridicule, the dismissal. Still, her conscience wouldn't let her stay silent. The next morning, she made a decision. It was the scariest thing she'd ever done. She waited until Daniel arrived, then asked to speak to him privately. Her voice shook as she explained what she had noticed. The tremor, the stiffness, the pallor, the breathlessness. She expected him to laugh it off. Instead, his expression shifted from polite amusement to quiet seriousness. Maybe it was the sincerity in her eyes. Maybe it was the fact that no one else had cared enough to notice. He agreed to see his doctor, just to be safe. 2 days later, Emily's phone rang. It was Daniel's assistant, asking her to come to the hospital. The words that followed made her knees go weak. Daniel had been diagnosed with a severe blood clot in his leg, a condition that, left untreated, could have traveled to his lungs or brain within days. The doctors said if it hadn't been caught now, it might have been too late. Emily's hands trembled as she hung up the phone. She sat in the staff room, staring at the floor, the weight of what had almost happened sinking in. When Daniel returned weeks later, walking steadily and looking healthier than she had ever seen him, he called Emily into his office. The same office where she used to stand quietly with folded towels invisible. He told her, in front of his senior staff, that she had saved his life. Not the doctors, not the meetings, not the business deals, her. The shy maid who noticed what everyone else missed. He promoted her to a wellness coordinator role in the company, ensuring employees had regular health checks. He said it was because sometimes the smallest voice in the room sees the biggest truth. From that day forward, Emily's life changed. She was no longer invisible. More importantly, she carried with her the knowledge that paying attention, really paying attention, could change everything. Not everyone gets the chance to save a life, but everyone has the power to notice, to care, and to act when it matters most. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it, leave a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Every click, share, and comment helps us spread kindness and remind the world that compassion can make a difference. Before we end, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed something small that ended up making a big difference? Share your story in the comments below. Your words might inspire someone else to speak up, care more, or save a life. From that day forward, Emily's life changed. She was no longer invisible. More importantly, she carried with her the knowledge that paying attention, really paying attention, could change everything. Not everyone gets the chance to save a life, but everyone has the power to notice, to care, and to act when it matters most. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it, leave a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Every click, share, and comment helps us spread kindness and remind the world that compassion can make a difference. Before we end, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed something small that ended up making a big difference? Share your story in the comments below. Your words might inspire someone else to speak up, care more, or save a life.